One careless decision is about to pull three dangerous animals into the same fight. Beneath the dry grass, an African rock python is searching for another chance to feed. Above ground, a baboon notices something it cannot ignore. And somewhere beyond the scrub, a mother honey badger is already heading back toward the one place she will defend at any cost. The python has already spent hours hidden near a grazing herd. Its patterned body disappears against the pale earth and broken stalks, leaving only its head positioned toward the movement ahead. An impala edges away from the others, lowering its guard for just a moment. The snake tightens into position, waiting until the distance is small enough for one sudden strike. Then the attack comes. The python explodes from cover, jaws reaching for the impala. But the antelope reacts almost instantly. It twists aside, escapes the bite, and races back toward the herd. Dust rises as the animals scatter in every direction. Within seconds, the opportunity is gone, and the snake is left exposed in an empty patch of grass. For a predator that depends on surprise, there is no reason to remain. The python slips away from the disturbed hunting ground and begins testing the air with its tongue. Each movement carries chemical information back to a sensory organ in the roof of its mouth. Somewhere nearby, another scent offers the possibility of food. That trail leads toward a burrow. Inside the underground chamber, two young honey badgers are resting while their mother is away. The narrow entrance and packed walls should offer protection from most threats. But a large snake does not need much room to enter. The python lowers its head into the opening and gradually feeds the rest of its body into the darkness. A few yards away, a baboon crosses the open ground looking for anything useful to eat. It pauses when it sees an unusual shape sliding into the earth. The snake's body is nearly gone, but the end of its tail remains visible. The baboon moves closer. It circles the hole, watching the tail disappear inch by inch. There is no clear reward here, and no obvious reason to interfere. But curiosity keeps the primate near the entrance. What it cannot see is far more dangerous than what is visible above ground. In the burrow, the python reaches the cubs. The young badgers have nowhere to run. They retreat to the back of the chamber, growling and snapping in the darkness. One of them is seized, but the struggle is violent and cramped. The cub twists free before the snake can secure its grip. Now both animals face the intruder, making themselves as threatening as their small bodies allow. The python advances again. At that exact moment, the baboon makes a choice that changes everything. It grabs the exposed tail with both hands and pulls. The first attempt barely moves the snake. The python's heavy body presses against the walls of the tunnel, resisting the force from above. The baboon leans backward and pulls again, this time with its full weight. Dirt breaks loose around the entrance. More of the snake appears. Then the python suddenly slides free. The baboon stumbles backward as the enormous constrictor is dragged into the sunlight. For one suspended second, the primate seems almost surprised by what it has uncovered. The snake does not hesitate. It turns, raises the front of its body, and strikes toward the animal holding its tail. The baboon releases its grip and runs. Now the rescue has become a chase. The python follows across the dust, while the baboon looks for the nearest tree. Neither animal notices the dark shape approaching from the opposite direction. The mother honey badger has returned. She sees movement near the burrow, a fleeing baboon, a large snake, and disturbed earth at the entrance where her cubs are hidden. She does not know what happened moments earlier. She only knows that two unfamiliar animals are dangerously close to her young. The baboon reaches her first. The mother charges without slowing. She snaps at the primate's legs and drives it away from the den. The baboon, already trying to escape the python, now has a second attacker behind it. It veers toward a tree, leaps onto the trunk, and climbs beyond the badger's reach. From the branches, the baboon watches the animal it accidentally helped save. But the mother is not finished. She turns back toward the python, placing herself between the snake and the burrow. The python coils, conserving its movement and facing the new threat. The difference in size is dramatic. The snake is longer, heavier, and capable of wrapping prey in powerful loops. The badger is low to the ground, compact, and unwilling to give up even a single step. The standoff lasts only a moment. The python strikes first. Its jaws catch the badger, and thick coils begin closing around her body. Against a less durable animal, that hold could end the fight quickly. But honey badgers have tough, loose skin, giving them room to twist even when an attacker has grabbed them. That flexibility becomes the mother's opening. Instead of struggling straight backward, she rotates inside the coils. Her head turns farther than the snake expects, bringing her jaws within reach of its lower body. She bites hard. The python tightens, but the badger bites again, refusing to release. The balance of the fight begins to change. The snake tries to reposition its coils, and that small adjustment gives the badger more space. She tears one foreleg free, braces against the ground, and drives her body toward the python's head. The constrictor loosens enough for her to pull out of the trap, but escape is not what she wants. The badger attacks again, forcing the python away from the burrow. Each time the snake turns toward the entrance, she cuts across its path. The python can continue fighting, or it can abandon the ground entirely. Wounded, exposed, and facing an opponent that will not retreat, it begins to move toward the brush. The mother follows. She bites the snake's body and drags it several feet farther from the den before finally letting go. The python slides into the cover, still alive but no longer willing to challenge her. Only when the last part of its tail disappears does the badger stop pursuing it. Above her, the baboon remains in the tree. The primate's curiosity started the confrontation, saved the cubs, and nearly costed its own life. It does not climb down. Not yet. The mother returns to the burrow and pauses at the entrance. The ground is torn apart, and the scent of the snake remains everywhere. She disappears underground. A moment later, the two cubs move toward her. They are frightened, but alive. The python entered the burrow believing it had found an easy meal. The baboon pulled it back into the open without understanding what waited below. And the mother returned at the precise moment when the entire encounter could have ended differently. In the wild, survival does not always belong to the largest animal. Sometimes it belongs to the one that reacts first. Sometimes to the one that refuses to let go. And sometimes, against every expectation, it begins with a curious baboon pulling on the wrong tail.